Valerie, if you could for us, would you share with us what brought you to adoption?
Well, I have never been married, and was looking for, I have a good job, I have a good education, was looking for more love children. And so since I hadn't had the opportunity to get married, I decided that maybe I could find something else to throw myself into, but I wasn't finding it. And so I just eventually, I'd had people ask me before, well, have you ever strongly in two-parent families? And I think children are benefit more from two-parent families, so I don't know if I could, throw myself into that knowing that it would just be me. But I was on a trip with my mom and some of my aunts, her sisters and a sister-in-law, and the sister-in-law has adopted 4 children. And so she asked me again, how are things going? And I said, well, I'm working, I'm going to church, I'm doing all these things, but I'm lacking that deep meaning in my life. She said, well, have you ever thought of adoption? And I said, the stock answer I had, which was, I believe in two-parent families if at all possible. But from that point, I kind of started thinking about it a little bit more because I am getting older. I was over 40. And so I started thinking about it a little bit more. I could not stop thinking about adoption. It was constantly on my mind. I would go to sleep thinking about it. I'd wake up thinking about it. I'd be at work trying to concentrate on work and I'd be thinking about it. And so that's when I started investigating. At first I thought I would do international adoption. And so I really started, I searched the internet, found some agencies, I called a couple of them, asked questions, but it just never felt right. Did some more searching. I spent pretty much that whole summer, it was last year, 2011, searching the internet, calling a couple agencies, and just trying to find the right fit for me and the people who I felt most comfortable with. And spent all those months looking, and finally, I don't know why, but I knew about this nearby agency since I'm here in Utah. I knew this, I'd seen it on the internet, but for some reason I left it till last. And when I finally called, I got hooked up right away with Dave Womack, and he just started asking questions and joking with me, and he found out where I worked, and he's a big fan of football, and it just went from there, and I felt like I had gone, from there, I felt uplifted from just answering the introductory questions that he was putting into the computer at the time. And from that moment, I knew that I had found the right agency for me. I started doing the background check and everything, and they were just very helpful. All of that took quite a while, and my brother was living here with me, and so I had to also do background check on him. He's not here anymore, but it was a lot of red tape and a lot of bureaucracy to get through, but they were really helpful in making sure I got everything covered. There was a deadline coming up, and so someone, I can't remember their name, but they made sure that I got everything taken care of before the deadline. Just really walked me through it, and did some calling around to some agencies too to make sure that it made it through. And so it was just the perfect place for me to be.
How long did the process actually take when you'd started it with the Adoption Center?
I started just before, it was probably the end of summer, so fall was when I did the background check and everything, and I got everything taken care of by December. So I started looking at birth mom profiles at the end of December. I thought it would take a while. Everyone always asks. I was doing some of those online trainings, and everyone would ask, every week someone would ask, how long does this take? And whoever it was, I can't remember his name at this moment, but he would say we tell people it takes from 3 months to 3 years is probably average. And so I thought, being single, the birth moms are going to choose a two-parent family if they can, if it's there. So I thought, I'm going to have to be patient and wait. But one of the things that they also told us in that training was, when it's the right situation for you, when it's your baby, then it will happen.
Can you tell us your overall experience with the Adoption Center of Choice?
It was wonderful. There was not one bad thing about my experience. um, gosh, I can't think of anything that made me. I told you I was shy. That made me uncomfortable. Dave was very energetic. It took a little bit of, he's just being Dave, but that wasn't. It was very quick getting to appreciate that. The people who came to do the house study, they were respectful, helpful. It didn't feel like I was being tested or examined. It felt like they were just trying to make this house as safe as possible and the situation as good as can be. And just how fast it happened. I know that's not going to happen for everyone, but when it came through, it just was as smooth as possible. And I've of course heard stories from other people about just all the stuff you have to do, and yes, you do have to do a lot of stuff, but it was just, the agency made it really easy, really wonderful experience.